Welcome back to Together We Can's monthly action items. My name is Rob Crane. I'm a personal injury attorney in Dallas, and along with my good friend Pastor Richie Butler, we are co-founders of Together We Can. This month, we do a couple of things. Number one, as we did last June, we take a look at Juneteenth. We provided you last year's offering so that you can go back and have a more in-depth look. This year, we just make a recognition of Juneteenth, and in doing so, as this country is really having an awakening and awareness of the importance of Juneteenth. Last year, it was recognized as a national holiday for the first time and will be going forward. We're learning how to celebrate Juneteenth. What does that look like for each and every one of us? And I'm learning that as well. For so many Americans, it has been an annual celebration, but for many others, like myself, it's something that is more and more important to me as I appreciate it, and something I want to share with my children and have it part of all of our lives going forward. So we hope that you take something from that offering this year. This month, we're going to take a look at a moment in history that we've not touched on yet at Together We Can, and that is the story of the Loving family, Mildred and Richard Loving. 1958, they got married outside their home state of Virginia. They could not get married in Virginia because of anti-miscegenation laws that date back to codes in the 1600s, back when there were black and white indentured servants, and of course the awful slave trade was rooting itself in our country as well. And when they returned home, they were immediately arrested. Their home was broken into by authorities. They were rustled out of their bedroom, and they were taken to court. And they were given an option of 1 year in prison or a 25-year exile from the state of Virginia. They chose the latter. And you'll hear more of the story of the Loving family. But one aspect of their legacy is that they challenged those laws in the United States Supreme Court and won. And in 1967, the decision of Loving versus Virginia came down for the right to marry, one of the first right to marry decisions, and in this case, striking down anti-miscegenation laws in our country as violating the Equal Protection Clause of our Constitution. And in doing so, they put a stamp on history. They also have us looking at our Constitution differently going forward. And again, as we've recognized so many times, this is just recently in our history in the United States, 1967. Many of us were born before that date. I was born just after that date. And it's something that we need to appreciate, that our laws are just catching up to equality, and we're still very much a young country in that respect. Listening to Georgetown law professor Cheryl Cashin and her interview, I think, is very helpful to all of us. She talks about the history of anti-miscegenation laws, why they existed, who they were to benefit. And she goes through, but also talks about the progress we've made, and really touches on the growth of our country and this cultural dexterity that she talks about and defines for us in the interview. And she has this optimism of this critical mass growing in our country of like-minded people who are there for one another regardless of color, and trying to bring all of us and push all of us forward together in this great country. And that's what the messaging each month at Together We Can is about, is to look our history in the eye. None of us were part of this history. None of us established anti-miscegenation laws. None of us defended those. And we are doing our best as an American to look that history in the eye, learn the lessons from that history, and apply those lessons, and how in the past we overcame challenges, and so that we might use those same tools and lessons to overcome our challenges in the future. And that awareness, that ability to be comfortable and confident with our history, and to be able to speak comfortably and confidently with others on these subjects, which we don't often talk about, is what we're all about. And we just say thank you to all of you. I'm grateful for your steps in this journey of making yourself more aware of our history, making yourself more aware of how we overcome our challenges with that mindfulness that we talk about with Together We Can. So we offer those links to you, and we also suggest you watch the movie Loving. It's a wonderful movie. We think you'll enjoy it. And we hope to see you back again next month.